Right guys, welcome back to another video, and today I am going through my top 5 players of all time, and I'm going through my top 5 players of the modern era. Now, before I get into this video, my shouts are so rogue, it's actually mental, the reasons why I've picked each player here. So a disclaimer before we do get into this video, these are my favourite top 5 players in the modern era and previously. So it's all opinion and it really doesn't matter. It's also my choice because it's my opinion. But I just wanted to state that because I'm not going to have like Messi, Ronaldo and stuff in there, because these are my favourite players that I grew up kind of watching and love watching throughout the years. So I am going to get into my players from the past, like any players all time, my favourite top 5 players of all time, right? So I'm going to get in. And it's going to be kind of like, I'm doing a 5-a-side team for this one. I thought I'd mix it up a bit. So for the formation of this 5-a-side team, I've gone for 1 in goal, 1 defender, 1 midfielder and 2 strikers. So it's quite an attacking team, let's say that. So I'm going to start off with the goalkeeper. In fact, let's leave the goalkeeper because the goalkeeper is the roguest shout you'll ever hear. And you would never guess it, ever. There's no chance you'd ever guess my goalkeeper. So let's start off with the obvious one. I am a Leicester City fan, if you could not tell. I have this mirror here to prove my authenticity to the club. It's a Coca-Cola Cup winners one from 1997. It's quite a nice one. But, sorry, you couldn't really hear me there. I'm not really talking into my mic there. But I have put Vardy at my striker on this one, mainly because, in my opinion, he's the best Leicester player of all time. He's won the Premier League, he's won the FA Cup, he's won the Community Shield, he's won so much with the club, and he was with us for a long period of time, and I really appreciate everything he's done for the club, and he is one of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time. Now, I said it, and growing up watching Jamie Vardy, it's been an amazing time, and I'm not sure Leicester City as a football club will ever see a striker as good as Jamie Vardy, which is quite depressing when you think about it. Moving on to my second striker, this is a rogue shout, and no one's going to get it. But I'm going for Didier Drogba. Now, I am a massive Ivory Coast fan, and if you don't know the reason why, it's because the Ivory Coast flag is the island flag, but reversed, essentially, right? And that is my African team. And growing up, my favourite players of all time were Drogba and Yaya Toure. Let me see if I can find my Yaya Toure kit. So this is a like old-ish, kind of from about 5-10 years ago. Of the Ivory Coast top. It's a beautiful shirt with Yaya Toure on the back. So I loved Ivory Coast when I was growing up. It's an amazing team. Yeah, so I love Ivory Coast a lot. And Drogba, I used to love watching him play for Chelsea. One of the clutchest players in Premier League history. Like, when you talk about clutch players, who would you want in a final last 5 minutes coming on? I'm saying Drogba. Like, Drogba is the guy that I want coming on no matter what. One of the most clutch and clinical players that I've ever seen play football, and that is why he is my striker in this. So I had to put 2 of my favourite players of all time in this list, so it's a bit top heavy, but then I'm going to get into the midfielder, who is Yaya Toure for Ivory Coast, is here. I love Ivory Coast so much, if you couldn't tell. But I have put Yaya Toure there. I have seen him play live once. I love watching Yaya Toure play. The way he plays is so dominant and so graceful. It's like he's so powerful, but like so quick at the same time. It's so fun watching Yaya Toure play, and watching his highlights. I implore every single person watching this video, go and watch Yaya Toure highlights, because the way he played, he just ran through defences and ran through teams, did a long shot or did a pass off. Like, the best, like, he is the best midfielder of all time in my opinion, and that is an opinion which is going to get absolutely finessed if anyone ever hears it. But I love Yaya Toure, and for obvious reasons, he is my midfielder in my top 5 favourite players of all time list. Now, we're going on to the 2 roguish shouts, probably in this list. And I told you this top 5 was the roguest team that you'll ever hear in your life. So, for my 4th, I've gone for my defender, which is Sergio Ramos. I just love the way he plays. He's so fun to watch because he's so... I love people that get red cards and stuff. I was always that guy that would always do challenges like that in football, and it was the funnest part, making a tackle where it just embarrassed the other guy, and that was the best part of like football. I'd enjoy doing a mad tackle more than a goal, actually, to be honest. It was being a defender myself when I was growing up, it was really inspirational to watch Sergio Ramos play, a born winner and one of the best players of all time, in my humble opinion. And watching him play for Real Madrid, literally, he's so committed to what he's doing at the time. It's amazing, and he plays for the badge, and he plays for the team he's playing for more than anyone else. Like, he is so committed and so willing to win. He's got the mentality of like a Michael Jordan, in my opinion, where he will win at any cost, no matter what. And I love that about football players when they do that. But that is just my opinion. Now getting on to the rogue one. Now this is the roguest shout that you'll ever hear. And I'm just going to say one word and then I'm going to move swiftly on to my current day team. Edwin van der Sar. This Match Attacks card. I had him when I was younger. That was my first ever 100 club in Match Attacks. That's the reason why. Now, swiftly moving on to my current top 5 team. This is my favourites again. So I have put Vardy there again because he still plays. And people think Vardy's finished. People keep saying Vardy's getting a year older. Have you guys who say this not noticed that you say this every single year and he doesn't decline? Have you not realised that yet? Or is it just me that's realised every time you say this man is going to decline, he's staying at the top of his game? Vardy's still here, and Vardy's going to score a mad amount of goals this season, I promise you so much. But he is my striker. I've actually gone for I've gone for one midfielder and one defender in this list as well. So my midfielder is Thiago Alcantara. People are thinking this is also a rogue shout. He hasn't been in the Prem that long. I watched Thiago from when he was at Bayern Munich. I loved him when he played at Bayern Munich. I love watching the German league, watching Bayern Munich. They're one of the most dominant teams in their league, and it's quite fun to watch. So I love how technically gifted he is. He is so good and one of the most technically gifted players I've ever seen play football, and that's why he is on this list for me, because when you're that technically gifted, I have to respect that and put you on my list. He's one of the most exciting and fun players to watch ever because of how he can pass the ball, how he can manipulate the ball and everything like that. He's one of the best to ever do it, and he doesn't get the respect he deserves a lot of times. When he first came in and he wasn't performing straight away, people are like, he's not worth the money and stuff when they bought him. He is worth every single penny that they bought him, and they bought him cheap. Like, he was so cheap for Liverpool. He's one of the best transfers I've ever seen in Premier League football. Moving on to my 2 defenders. People aren't going to get this, but I love Liverpool, man. I love Liverpool a lot. And I have put Trent there. Just because, again, I love passing and I love how Trent passes the ball. Honestly, he's one of the best, like, he is the best right back in the world for me. And honestly, he could be the best right back of all time. Like, that's how close it is for me. And I haven't watched every other right back ever play football, but I love watching Trent so much that he is there for me. And I'm scared when Trent plays Leicester. Like, he is so scary when he plays us. It's not fun. And he's just so good and literally one of the best players I've ever seen play football once again. Next, coming in for my second defender, I have put Wesley Faefana. Now, if you watch Leicester, you'll know Wesley Faefana is one of the GOATs. Honestly, I was at that game where he got injured in that pre-season friendly against Villarreal. I was so sad because I love Wes so much. Like, he is one of the best players, like, in recent years to sign for Leicester City. Came in, made an instant impact. He is amazing, and the fact that he signed a new contract to stay at Leicester for, I can't remember what year he's leaving, but I think he signed a contract till 2027. Makes my day. Like, when I saw that, I was so happy because Wes is one of my favourite players that ever even played for Leicester already, and I love him so much. I think he's in his 3rd season now, and he had his 2nd injury-riddled season, so hopefully he can get back to that level that he was in his 1st season. But he is so amazing and so fun to watch as well. Such an exciting defender, which you don't really say about a centre-back, which is kind of weird to say, but I am saying it. But that is for me what it's all about. Oh, people are going to hate me for this one as well. Ramsdale is my keeper. I love the passion. I love passion from goalkeepers. I love how he loves Arsenal, and I don't really like Arsenal as a team. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're an Arsenal fan, I'm really sorry, but I love Ramsdale's passion for Arsenal and how he plays for the team and how he wants to win no matter what. It's that mentality that really gets me, and that's what I love in sport. But these are such rogue shouts, people aren't going to get it, and people are going to hate on me so much. But that is the end of the video, guys. If you have enjoyed this one, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and thank you so much for everyone's support.